Right, so was it wreck or rock?
It was a wreck.
Good out, right. So, any clues?
Yeah, but it's only half a wreck. Well, it's not even quite half a wreck. It's the stern section.
Okay.
Yeah, it's quite exciting, really.
What you got then?
Right, well, I'll put the glasses on. There's a few boxes of these 12-pounder shell cases. They're all live. I happened to chance upon this one that was all broken open, and the cordite had already come out. And I thought, well, all the information that we need for this wreck would be on the base here. So, just looking at it, it is a 12-pounder, and it does state it is a 12-pounder.
And the date?
And it's got a date of 1940, and we were thinking that it was Second World War anyway.
Yep.
So, I mean, that's two really good clues. And then we've got all the other markings from the manufacturer and etc. on there. So we'll look that up.
Yep.
And go from there. So we're looking for like a armed trawler.
Yeah.
With a 12-pound gun on it.
Right. What else you got?
Well, this found it immediately before I found that. I don't know whether it's something for elevating the gun or it's more bronze than brass. It's extremely well made, so unfortunately I don't think there's any markings on it immediately, but like I say, I think we've got everything we need on that shell case, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't think we need much else. Whether it's torpedoed and the bowels part has obviously got the engine and the boiler still on it. This is shot on a torpedo, whether it was an E-boat or most likely here actually E-boat alley, isn't it?
Yeah.
So the greater part of the wreck, whether that had more air pockets in it and it's floated off somewhere else, unless they salvaged
Yeah,
the
I was
bowels.
going to say, yeah, salvaged it, you know.
Yeah.
Because there's not much of the arse end that's down there, is
No,
there? So maybe
not much there at all, actually.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it could have been saved, I don't know, but
It's definitely been blown apart, hasn't it?
Mm.
You see, it's all quite jagged and
yeah,
what have you.
yeah, it's not locked down there.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
interesting
that's
stuff.
exciting.
Yeah.
Just drifting back over the wreck. A real small lump to do, so it's a bit tricky. Jim's getting ready. And there's a shot there. Still running quite a bit, but we're going to get in to the bit where we're going to miss slack, if there is any. It's quite springy today. There it is. So, not much there, but it's really interesting, as you'll see on Rob's video.
Well, after giving it some thought, we decided it was more likely to be a DEM ship, a defensively equipped merchant ship, as the gun appears to have been at the stern, as that's where all the ammunition is. Whereas armed trawlers would have had the gun at the bow. After a bit of searching around the site, we also decided it was only the stern down there, and the rest of the ship must have been salvaged. as a ship would have been able to float with just that small part of the stern blown off. So that really narrowed it down. And after spending far too long searching through British vessels lost at sea, I found the Foam Queen. And annoyingly, it was right in front of me on wreck side, but positioned 6 miles to the north for filing purposes only. Now, although nothing has been recovered that positively identifies it as the Foam Queen, it's positioned close by the Storer and Donna Isabel, the 2 other ships that sunk in the same convoy, makes it a safe bet. Now, the following is an account from Nick Hewitt's book, Coastal Convoys, The Indestructible Highway, that gives a first-hand account of the sinking of the Storer, Donna Isabel and the Foam Queen. E-boats enjoyed greater success the following month when 9 boats of Klug's 5th Schnell boat flotilla hit convoy CW221. The Eastern Channel convoys had not been seriously attacked since 1941, German attention having been focused on the Western PW-WP series, so the attack came as an unpleasant surprise. 22-year-old H.B. Knudsen was 3rd officer of the Norwegian freighter Storer, bound for Cardiff with a cargo of tank parts. At 10 past midnight, the escorting warship started to fire snowflake illumination rounds. Shortly afterwards, I observed several E-boats all about half a mile away approaching the convoy from the port quarter. Action stations were sounded and we opened fire on the E-boats with the Oerlikon guns. After 10 minutes, the attackers dispersed into the night, only to launch a second, more subtle attack. Approaching the convoy quietly and unobserved, S-138 torpedoed the Storer at 12:35. I put on my lifebelt and hastened forward to the boat deck, but owing to the debris blocking the door of the alleyway, I was unable to get out. I then started to run aft and had just reached the door at the other end of the alleyway when the vessel sank, bow first. It seemed as if I went straight to the bottom of the ship before I managed to struggle out of the door and float to the surface. Storer sank with heavy loss of life. Captain Jens Pedersen and 24 of his 43 crew went down with her. 10 minutes later, torpedoes from S-100 found their mark in the collier Foam Queen. Built in 1922 and displacing just 811 tons, she stood little chance, as Captain R.E. Holt remembered. There was a terrific explosion with a blue flash. A column of water and debris was thrown high into the air. The after magazine exploded immediately and about 50 feet of the stern was completely blown off. Everything abaft of the funnel completely disintegrated. The engines dropped out of the ship, the boiler being shifted 12 feet forward against the forward bulkhead of the stockhold. All the crew amidships were saved, but all those aft were lost. Captain Holt and his second mate carried out an inspection, but it was clear that the situation was hopeless, so the order was given to abandon ship. In the water they retrieved the only survivor from the obliterated after end of the ship, the Dems gun layer, who had been blown from the aftergun position. We pulled him onto the raft and found him to be in a very serious condition. Both legs were badly broken, he had lost an eye and his face was covered with blood. We drifted on the raft for some time. It was very uncomfortable as it was a rough sea and the injured gun layer was in great agony. The mate, although injured himself and seasick, did his best to comfort him, holding me in his arms throughout the whole time. From the raft, the survivors watched the E-boats claim their last victim, the collier Donna Isabel, torpedoed by S-146. The torpedo which hit her passed straight through the engine room without exploding. Her chief engineer remembered a shudder and then something flashed in front of him, followed immediately by 2 arcs of water pouring into the engine room. Donna Isabella took an hour and 20 minutes to sink and her crew escaped into the boats without loss. Together with the Foam Queen survivors, they were rescued by a patrolling motor launch and landed at New Haven. The battered remains of the Foam Queen were eventually salvaged and towed to Dover. After having her cargo discharged at Dover, and I'd imagine anything of any use, she ended up at Southend to be used for experimental purposes. And from what I can make out, that means anything from salvage techniques to target practice. The ultimate fate though for this survivor of Dunkirk was the scrapyard. I'll put more information and references on my blog, links in the description.